Welcome back everybody. Today is the 14th of May. It's Sunday the 14th of May and it's my now second weekly rotation video, and I thought I'd just get this done quickly. It's been a pretty interesting week scent wise. I've tried a couple of new scents in this past week, but I'm going to start off with last Monday. I went with classic Fahrenheit Eau de Toilette. The only thing I want to say about Fahrenheit, apart from the fact that I love it and have loved it ever since I first smelled it, is that anyone who's new to this hobby of trying perfumes, designer, non-designer, indie, artisan, whatever, I think, especially for guys looking at masculine leaning scents, you need to smell Fahrenheit at some point. You may not like it, you might love it. And the other thing I will say is, regardless of whatever year vintage that you smell of Fahrenheit, even though it might have changed from the original formulation to now, it seems like however it changes over time, Fahrenheit is still good pretty much in any version. So on Tuesday, I went with a newly acquired bottle of Ambre Fetish from Annick Goutal. I have mentioned in previous videos this was a very, very kind gift by a subscriber, and I'll be forever appreciative of this bottle. I smelled Ambre Fetish years ago, and after that, on several occasions, I thought about looking for a bottle, and when I did try, it seemed like it was very difficult to find here in Australia. Somebody contacted me and said, I have a partial bottle I would like to give you, and it's with me now. The one thing that about Ambre Fetish that I will point out is that although the name suggests it's an amber perfume, yes, there is a definite amber accord there. It's a very dark and heavy labdanum leaning amber accord. There is also quite a forward, to my nose anyway, leather accord here, which just kind of sets this a little bit apart from other amber perfumes like Ambre Sultan, Ambre Russe, even Ambre Aurea from Perfume Roma. That's what I really like about Ambre Fetish from Annick Goutal. Now on Wednesday, I decided to try out one of my little minis that Anuj sent me. This is Charles Jourdan Un Homme. I didn't really know anything much about this particular. In fact, I admit I had not really heard of it before. Also, I do know that a lot of these, there were a lot of fragrances from that era that came out, and you can imagine the style that they were in. These are pretty much quite powerful, aromatic fougere style perfumes, and this one's no exception. It smells, it smells great for that style. The following day, I also wore something in a similar vein. This is Francesco Smalto Poron. One is, I can't remember now smelling them. I think the Smalto is a bit more lavender forward, whereas the Jourdan Un Homme a little bit mossier, but they're of that era, they're of that style. And in some ways, I was thinking about this while I was wearing them during the week, in that it's not surprising that a lot of these men's fragrances that were popular back in the day or loved by fragrance aficionados disappeared, because there is, as lovely as they are and as top quality as they are, there is a sense of sameness about them all. And I just can't imagine a market that would allow so many of them, regardless of how good and how well they're made, to actually survive. But I've enjoyed wearing these two, and they're definitely a little bit nostalgic for me, because even though in the late 70s, early 80s, when these were around, I was too young to be wearing fragrance for starters, but this is definitely the scent that I would smell around me whenever there were, especially men, wearing cologne or aftershave. It was always in this kind of vein. So on Friday, I decided to go with, and you'll have noticed this past week, I've kind of stuck with most of the week I stuck with the one scent for the whole day. Friday was no exception. I did go with Timbuktu from Perfume. I do enjoy still wearing Timbuktu quite a bit. The thing that I notice thinking to myself when I am wearing it is that as much as I'm enjoying it, and I'm acutely aware that, I don't have much left of this bottle, I'm almost 90% sure I won't be repurchasing Timbuktu once I finish it. I might regret that decision down the track, but at the moment I don't feel like I'm going to miss it. And so yesterday, the last couple of days, we've had unseasonably warmer weather for this time of the year in Melbourne. I decided to go with something I hadn't worn for a while. It was Boy Chanel from the Les Exclusives range. And then later on that day, I switched it up to my little decant of Eau d'Hermès from Hermès. This is definitely turning into a bottle. Boy is always a really, what I would describe as a deceptive wear. It sprays on light, but its presence kind of just stays around on my skin, at least, for the better part of a day. And I always enjoy it. I always smell clean, even if I spray this on and I haven't showered yet, or for whatever reason, it still makes me feel quite clean to wear. It's a really strange experience wearing Boy. And today's Sunday. This morning's scent was one of my favorite Levers Bel Ami. This came, and it's interesting, this was made a few years after those vintage men's fragrances, but this came out. It's leather, yes, it's spicy, there's citruses in here, it's mossy, it's a great leather chypre, but there is a little bit of a point of difference between sort of the rough edges of those vintage fragrances and the smoothness and blending of something like Bel Ami. And right at the moment, I am wearing one of my favorite perfumes, the under-discussed olfactive studio Woody Mood. So I'm really enjoying that. Always enjoy it, especially when the weather gets a little bit warmer. That's my week rotation in perfume. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions about any of the perfumes I wore this week, leave them in the comments section, and I'll see you soon. Bye.